Good morning, and welcome to the first TogetheRide Bike-A-Thon. My name is Daryl Evans, and I'm a member of Team Psychopaths, and I'm thrilled to be hosting this morning and to be joining the inaugural TogetheRide. I personally am pledging to ride 500 miles and raise $10,000. So what is a TogetheRide Bike-A-Thon? On the first Saturday of each month, we'll be hosting a short morning broadcast at 7 a.m. Pacific time, followed by an instructor-led indoor cycling class. During the broadcast, you get updates on our shared mileage and fundraising goals, talk about how our fundraising dollars are being put to work at our benefiting agencies, and get tips and tricks to help you along the way to get the most out of your TogetheRide experience. You ready to get started? First, happy Halloween! We can't let this day go without a costume. We take fun seriously. I hope you joined us with a bicycle-safe costume. One of the things I'm excited about is how each month TogetheRide will focus on different areas of the mission to end AIDS. In November, we're highlighting the continuum of care. The continuum of care is how San Francisco AIDS Foundation and the Los Angeles LGBT Center ensure that clients are receiving the full breadth of services needed to live a full and healthy life, from testing and diagnosis to getting connected with support groups, mental health services, and housing. We make sure that people are connected to care across the spectrum of needs. The center and the foundation provide free and low-cost services for HIV with compassion and care. Two clients got together to discuss what it's like to receive services at each agency. Here's what they had to say. Take a look.
My name's Abraham Flores. I'm 33 years old, and I first came to the center as a client.
I'm Element Eclipse, and I moved to San Francisco via Ohio. I also lived in Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington before coming here in 2012.
I believe I was about 18 years old. I started being sexually active, and I had originally seen my family physician when it came to STD, HIV testing, and some of the experiences that I had with my family physician weren't really gay friendly. So I definitely needed a safe place to sort of be myself and be completely honest with the staff about, my sexual orientation, what kind of sexual activities I was involved in. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I automatically enrolled in primary care at the Gay and Lesbian Center for HIV and STI testing.
For me, I would say the number one thing that I find is different about the AIDS Foundation compared to a primary healthcare physician. I find myself every time that I go in being having a good time, having a good conversation, being comfortable with the people that I'm talking with or seeing during the day, which I think is next level.
Definitely for me, I felt, coming from a very conservative background, I felt kind of alone and isolated when it came to my concerns. It was a relief. I just remember feeling relief because I could finally talk to people who understood where I was coming from, and they knew what I was talking about.
So when I moved to San Francisco and I got invested into the foundation, it was great because it's great to see somebody that you know from the clinic out on the street and not feel so isolated or alienated. And so I was just elated when I heard that U equals U, which is like this undetectable equals uninfectious thing that I saw on the wall during one of my sexual health screenings. And when we had that conversation, it was nice to see one of my friends who was underinformed and taking PrEP listen to me and then go in and have a conversation with them. And so, yeah, just listening to the advice of knowledgeable individuals and allowing myself to take better care of my body.
I think that's great because, whether you're trans, gay, lesbian, bisexual, non-binary, I think we're all in the same boat. We're all fighting the same battle, and we all want to find our safe place for us to be able to be heard and without any fear of judgment or other repercussions.
It's always great to feel healthy as well as actually be healthy.
That was so moving. It's incredible to think about how the center and the foundation really wrap their services around the needs of each individual, letting the individual take charge of their own care. I love how they were both able to come to the San Francisco AIDS Foundation and the Los Angeles LGBT Center and be their authentic selves. Thank you, Element and Abraham, for sharing their stories. Check out the rest of the conversation at TogetheRide.org. TogetheRide has an ambitious goal of collectively riding 1.2 million miles, which represents the 1.2 million people living with HIV in America. We can't get there without the effort of each and every member of our community. We caught up with Zoe Goodstone, who's committed to riding 500 miles and raising $1,000 this season. They are one of our many community heroes. Zoe, what are you doing today to earn those miles?
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm 19 years old and I am a college student at Scripps College. I'm doing the Together Ride to support my uncle, as well as to help raise money for all of the amazing people who are suffering from HIV and AIDS. I am pledging to ride 500 miles and raise $1,000. And today on Halloween Day, I'm going to be riding 5 miles and raising $200 towards that goal.
Incredible! Go get those miles and remember to be safe. And speaking of safety, another way to be set up for success this year is to take time to learn about bike safety and cycling tips. Today, we have one of our community partners from Southern California, DTLA Bikes, to offer some great tips for your time in the saddle.
My name is Rodney Masgetti, and I'm the owner of DTLA Bikes in downtown Los Angeles. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about bike safety as well as basic tips on the road to get you started. We'll begin by looking at our bike. Now, the first thing we always want to do is want to make sure that the bike itself is safe to ride, right? So most important is we're going to check first the brakes. You want to basically spin the wheel and you want to pull your brakes. Right always controls rear, left always controls front. Next is you want to check tire pressure. Now, this is an important point because most people just don't check their tire pressure often enough. Make sure your tires are pumped up. Make sure you do it once a week. Next is you want to make sure that parts are nice and tight, that you don't notice what we call play. If you notice any movement within the parts. One little trick that I do is I basically will, drop the bike a little bit while holding onto it and notice if I see any rattling. If you do notice any rattling, that's usually a sign that there's something loose, so you should probably look at that. Next thing, you want to make sure your saddle is adjusted properly. So I always recommend, first and foremost, a multi-tool, something like this, that's going to give you all the basic Allen key sizes, right? So this will give you the basics to raise your seat, but in the event of being on the road and you need a quick adjust, this allows you to kind of get to that point. In addition to a multi-tool, you should always have a basic tire lever with you, as well as an inner tube and an inflator. Either you could use a CO2 inflator or you could use a mini pump, but either of those options should work just fine. Next thing is safety for you, right? So first and foremost, helmet. You always want to wear a helmet, right? Always make sure your helmet is rated for proper bike riding. And most important for helmet is fit. You want to make sure that when it's on your head, it drops all the way down and that you can adjust it and get it comfortable. The goal of a good helmet is that it's going to protect you in that event of an accident, but it should also be something that's comfortable enough that you don't notice any pressure on the temples when you're wearing it. Ideally, it should just be on your head and you should be wearing it and you shouldn't be worried about, or even thinking about the fact that it's on your head. Lighting, super important. If you're gonna ride at night, you've gotta have something, basic front light that is white and a basic rear light that's gonna be red. Last thing we're gonna talk about is safety on the road, just in general. There's certain streets you wanna avoid. Ideally in the beginning until you get your bearings and you kind of learn how to ride. In traffic, you wanna make sure to kind of, feel confident. First and foremost is According to bicycle law, at least in the state of California, you can take the full lane. For me, one of the most important tips is visibility. Make sure you wear that ugly green vest or some cool bright acid red rain jacket. They do make some really good apparel, so I highly recommend wearing something bright. At least one item. Most people want that cool matte black bike with matte black gear, but super important to wear something that's going to be highly visible, either that neon helmet or that super bright wind vest. So that's it for now. Wishing all of you the best of luck, and you should have an amazing, amazing year, getting stronger, and keep riding for the cause. All the best.
Those were great tips for getting started. Thanks to Rodney at DTLA Bikes. Now, if you're like me, no doubt you can't wait to get started earning miles and badges for TogetheRide. They say knowledge is power, so I'm going to hand it over to staff members R. Harmon and Patch Perez to go over some details to get you ready to ride.
Hi, I'm R, one of your Together reps.
And I'm Patch, one of your outreach coordinators. We are so excited to be here today to tell you about all the amazing tools we have here available to you this season to support your fundraising efforts and connect you to other TogetheRide participants.
Your Participant Center is a very important tool for a successful year.
This is where you'll track your fundraising progress, reach out to donors, and keep a close eye on all the badges you can earn. We have a full how-to guide available to you at TogetheRide.org.
Next, be sure to download the TogetherRide app. This is where you will track your mileage progress and your activity badges. The TogetherRide app connects with various tracking apps such as Apple Health, Google Fit, or Strava to automatically log your miles, or you can add them in manually.
As you walk miles, you will earn badges. You can snag your first badge today simply by starting. That's right, your first badge is awarded to you when you log your very first ride. You can also earn a fundraising badge today. Have you updated your personal bio in your Participant Center? If not, check that off your list today and add a fundraising badge to your collection.
Our goal this year is to help you ensure that the fun is always a part of fundraising. To help you get creative, hone your fundraising pitch, and learn how to host events, we have our on-demand Together Talks. We will be adding new content all season long, so be sure to check your Participant Center often. We cover everything from leveraging your creative talents to fundraise to how to fundraise $1,000, $5 at a time.
TogetherRide is so much more than about fundraising and biking. It's all about connecting with your fellow activists and heroes to create a supportive and worldwide community. That means all season long, we will be providing you a chance to get out of the saddle and spend time learning about our community and the agencies that we support. Set your calendars for our World AIDS Day and Giving Tuesday event on Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. Tune in to honor those we've lost to HIV and AIDS and to learn about how we are working together to help end AIDS. Now let's kick it back to Daryl.
Each month, we'll offer up a different challenge. Today's challenge is easy. You can do it right now. We challenge you to make sure your Participant Center is set up with your goals and install the TogetherRide app. Do it today. This will set you up for the rest of the year to log those miles and earn those badges. Thanks for tuning in to the first TogetherRide Bike-A-Thon broadcast. Join us on Saturday, December 5th for our next Bike-A-Thon. Now, put on your shoes, grab some water and a towel. It's time to sweat with Mario Martinez. Mario's fun energy will keep you going for the next 45 minutes, no matter what level you're at. And if you're heading outdoors, remember to log your miles. Be safe, and thank you for your part in getting us to 1.2 million miles. Stay tuned, Mario will be with you shortly.